Hey everybody, welcome back to the HEB podcast. You are here live once again with
I only speak green tea.
Ski.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. You have to say that every time, bro. Can't miss that part.
Every Monday.
It's so important, so crucial.
Eastern time.
It's not only on every title that we put up and like all that other shit. You know, it's every social media post, but it should be locked in the back of your brain every morning when you wake up. That's the first thing you should think about is, right before you brush your teeth. Did I watch the podcast? Is it on already? You should know, because it's 8 p.m. every time, all the time. No,
Eastern
just
time.
Once a week, actually.
I'm pretty sure everybody made time during the day to tune in. Scissors. I hope you guys are having a great week because my goodness, it's been like a little journey. Cutthroat shit for rip. But high key, guys, sorry about last week not having a podcast. Shit happened. You know what I'm saying? Astro and Sada had to go fight crime and make some moves.
That last podcast that we did? Because we did do it at Colorado.
No, I didn't even. How the fuck?
Maybe you should subscribe.
Ring the bell, goddammit.
Make sure you guys ring that damn bell. Like, comment, and subscribe. But that's not enough nowadays.
High key.
Not enough to pay the bills.
You gotta hit share.
Suck my fucking dick.
Don't do that. Hit share.
I mean,
It's the same thing.
I didn't mean. Yeah.
I'm trying to have it.
Yeah, no offense,
I'm not
guys.
sexist.
Yeah, suck my dick, no offense.
No, I'm sexist. Guys cannot suck
Right?
my dick.
You can say pretty much anything and then no offense right after, right?
Hey. No, it's more like Kanye said. You can say anything if you put the right emoji.
He said that
Like,
shit.
you know, I hit it first, and then you. Like
Yeah.
Ray J was like, I hit it first, and he put the number one, so
Yeah.
the gold medal.
So,
you know,
Yeah.
so he was all right. He got
Yeah.
away with it.
Yeah.
He put the right emoji.
Yeah, nobody was like,
should be a
bro,
hand
I saw
emoji.
It's fucking low, man.
high key.
I was green, bro.
Fuck that. He did
Calling
hit
that
it
bitch
first.
a slut, man.
Did you not see the post she posted recently about?
Wait, I don't even know what you were really
She
talking
was sitting
about.
on her
Crown is hot about Kanye right now.
Oh yeah, 38.
Yeah, we
Abolishing the
talked about
13th Amendment. I don't care what you gotta say, Kanye. You want to talk about you want to amend the 13th Amendment, but you know exactly what you're a very smart individual and a master, like Nick Cannon said, of media manipulation. But that was from the heart, my friend. Make America great again. Matter of fact, pull up the tweet. Can you pull up the tweet? Anybody can pull up the tweet.
Uh-oh.
I got
I got 1%. I'm gonna read the tweet out loud.
Uh-oh.
And then
And then
the drama gonna start.
4 hours later.
Okay.
Let's see.
4 hours
Twitter.
later.
I need to hit a joint because if I don't hit the joint before I start talking about this shit.
Then Kanye's gonna get in even more trouble. And listen, Kanye, you're not in that big of trouble. You're just in big trouble. You know? It's kind of like when you're in the office. You're like, fuck.
Kanye don't give a fuck. Kanye's in his office right now getting jerked off by some random skeezer. He's chilling. You feel me?
I know, Skeever, a rap from Skyrim.
Skeever.
What the fuck?
They just want my cheese. Kanye West quits Twitter and
Oh, yeah.
Instagram after taking heat for pro-Trump speech on Saturday Night Live.
Bro, hey,
I didn't even watch
listen,
that.
we don't have nothing against being pro-Trump because you know what? Like nowadays, in my opinion, the president, the symbol of being the president, I feel like is completely knocked, and I feel like that's not right because that's the symbol of power for our country. I'm not a Trump supporter or any power. You know what I'm saying? It happened. It is what it is. You gotta now you gotta acknowledge the system.
You have to respect
now,
that.
You could fight for different things like prison reform, education, and go in that direction. And even though we are going in that direction and it seems to be getting nowhere, but I'm just gonna get back to the tweet.
People just gotta stop talking about shit they don't know nothing about.
And stop
Exactly.
acting like you guys don't have any fucking privileges. Like there's a bunch of countries
Kanye
that will
West.
cut your tongue out
When
for
I-
even
when I
having
say
the
you don't know
ability to
about it,
possess
that's
something
not-
against
Say
their
that.
beliefs.
Yeah, exactly.
That doesn't mean I'm saying you didn't go 9/11 and not having to be in the fucking having to be aware at the time of it happening.
G shit.
Like what? We're not supposed to talk about the Spartans dying, the 300 dying. We weren't fucking there.
Hey,
You
did
can't give me
did
your
you ever
opinion
notice
on
that-
it.
Did you ever notice
can't
that
do your
in
own
Lord of the Rings
research.
#2, it was 300 people originally against all those people? It was 300 men that survived in the
Oh, yeah.
that fought.
Was
all
it
the-
300?
It was 300
Or
until
was it
the
less?
elves-
Wah,
until
wah,
the
wah,
elves
wah.
Hey,
I felt like it was less.
no, it was 300.
It might have been 300. You might be right.
This is Kanye. Chill the fuck out.
Lord of the Rings.
This is I Only Speak Green Tea podcast.
Dude, we need to make an intro like that.
You feel me? Like
This is
this. I think we have the right voices for it. We could do some voice acting shit. But high key, guys, do here.
If you can animate shit, if you can do some actual 3D animation, hit us up. We can voice act for you. You got a series? We got a series. Let's do some series.
Siri,
let's do some series.
Hey Siri.
I'm going.
What's
I'm
a series
using my
is?
I have 1% on my phone. I'm using my last motherfucking percent to pull this shit up.
Siri caught everything you just said.
Oh.
Nah, she only heard a hey.
Hey Siri.
Hey, the Conor McGregor Khabib fight.
Because
that
bitches
shit
don't
was
really
crazy.
listen.
I didn't get to see it. I just
Khabib
saw.
whooped
Sorry, I
Conor's
gotta
ass,
use
but
this.
Conor gonna come back strong. Conor's a real deal athlete, a real
Get
champion.
that remote, man.
Even though he talks a lot of shit.
I need to be able to plug it in.
I felt like the hype, like Conor was just so excited, and maybe he went in there underestimating him because I saw.
He definitely didn't underestimate him, but he just definitely wasn't trained. Like the guy said, if you drink or smoke in the last year, there's no way you're gonna beat me. And I completely feel that. And he was drinking on the press conference, the Irish whiskey he was promoting. And like, you know, he's yeah, man, he was wilding. He really
Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah, but
knew,
the thing
you
is,
guys
I
saw
think
that
he-
brawl, right?
I
Afterwards.
think he deserves
I
it.
didn't
Yo,
see it.
the brawl was it was like
He
a
deserved
novella.
it?
He deserves a rematch.
He deserves a rematch.
I think
'Cause it was
there
a good
should be a
enough fight
rematch.
for a rematch. It wasn't like he
Conor-
he didn't get his
Connor
ass
said
beat.
himself that he'd be down for a rematch too. Like
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
And you know, like if you're gonna L, obviously, like you should want a rematch, like or at
And
least.
he's the two-time champion. He's one of the few people to ever hold two titles at once. You know what I'm saying?
And you know, I thought he was gonna win. I really did. I didn't know too much
Nah,
about Khabib as much as I knew about Connor because he's so
in
fucking
my heart,
mainstream
I
now.
knew Khabib was gonna win the first fight, but I still think that Conor is a true champion. Like how he lost to Nate Diaz, who's a triathlon athlete, someone who runs miles, swims for miles, bikes for miles, and has fucking cardio of.
Both of the brothers.
But like,
both
just
of
because
them
you're
are
not the
rowdy.
comeback king doesn't mean that you can't like you're excused from starting a fucking brawl in the
No,
middle
Conor
of a
didn't
sports
start that
session.
shit.
No, I'm talking about Khabib.
I don't think they should've took- I don't think they should've took his,
Khabib
took the win
defended
from him,
himself. Khabib defended himself already. He was like, "Why is everyone talking about me? Why are they talking about this thing I do and the jump in the crowd like it's some big thing?
How about-
Conor McGregor speak about my religion, any shit. He just stayed there quiet. And if you're not gonna talk shit, which is half of the fucking shit in the beginning, building up the hype and all that, like getting all these countries
You know why he
involved
was
and shit,
he
you
was
know?
really mad?
Because
at
he's
Conor.
Russian, so a lot of Russians were fucking going for
But
him.
he was
Did you not
serious,
hear
though.
about his manager?
Even though he's from California.
Did
What's
you
up?
not hear about his manager? How his manager got caught as like a spy, and he turned informant, and like Conor put that on blast. That's another big reason why Khabib really fucking hated it. You didn't see right after the fight when he got up, Khabib
I
spit
saw-
on Conor. He got up and spit on him.
didn't see that.
Looked at his coach, pointed at him, and was
I didn't
like,
see the spit. I didn't see any spitting. I didn't hear Joe Rogan talk about it. I didn't hear anybody.
when
Oh, the
they-
video.
when they're
I saw
breaking
the
up,
video. I
he
didn't
goes-
see him spit.
He goes, because the ref was right in the way.
I mean, he
He
could have
goes,
yelled something, bro.
You did it the first time, and you did it the second time. It looked like he spit on him, in my opinion. I mean, to me, it looked like.
Eat a loogie.
Eat a loogie, bro, you loser.
Nah, he was devastated. He really was trying to win one for the. That's why that like.
Bro, at least he could have like hit him on the kick. What was his
watched the
name?
fight.
Nope.
Not the whole
I mean,
thing, no.
I did.
I saw the highlights.
I saw the whole fight, and it was a good
Okay.
fight, but Khabib was mauling him and was applying physical pressure. I'm talking about stand-up game too. He was.
I
Not
saw
only
both of
just-
them talk about it, and I saw Joe Rogan talk about it.
He wasn't just slamming him and all that. He was slamming him, but he kind of mauled McGregor. But when they were, you know, Conor
Yeah.
within the fourth round, you could tell he was gassed.
He was saying that he ran out of energy, and
Yeah.
like he gave props to Khabib for keeping his energy up, and like he kept it going. And Conor said that he gave up on the body shots. You know,
Yeah.
he was only going for the head at that point.
He should have just
you
kept
know?
going for that.
Yeah, he lost faith in those because it just like looked like it wasn't doing anything. You
Nah,
know,
it
and
wasn't
that's when
doing
you're
anything.
tricking yourself. You know,
No,
you're
no,
like
no.
doing those body shots.
Apparently, he might have spit on that nigga, dude.
Oh, you got that?
I'm checking right now.
Damn, because I didn't hear Conor talk about that either.
'Cause Conor-
Russian fighter spit on Conor McGregor as he was walking away. That alone off.
Yeah, man, Conor.
And then-
no offense, so you know, like.
Okay, all this shit, bro. And he wants that shit to keep going. No nonsense, you know, to like win it. I mean, like,
he wilds out. He wilds out.
yeah, he does, but you know, you could fucking charge him. They didn't
He
charge
wilds
him.
out before the fight, though. He doesn't wild out during the fight.
Yeah,
During
'cause,
the
you know,
fight, what makes me think it wasn't hyped up is that he spit on him when he beat him, and Conor tried to dap him up. and he got spit on, and then he went and looked at his jiu-jitsu training coach, and was pointed at him, and he did the eagle on his ass.
I don't know if you heard what Khabib said. Let me say this last thing, and let's let Quesada speak. Khabib was saying, I'm gonna change this sport. You heard it. You heard me say it before. I'm gonna change this sport in regards of shit talking and all this other shit. Just get your feelings hurt. That's it. End of story. You get stronger because of that. You get rougher edges. You know.
They're trying to get into people's heads and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Khabib was like completely unfazed by that shit. I will smash you. And just sit there and looked at him and shit. Conor was trying him. He even tried to give him whiskey. He's like,
you were saying something, bro. Say it.
I don't had a small comment.
Put it in there.
Stereotype implied. I'm just like, I've never met a Russian that doesn't drink. That's interesting.
That's German. Oh no, Russians, bro, they like the vodka. They're stereotyping. I'm sorry.
Oh, Russians.
Right there. He spit on him right here.
Do you have it on?
It's not on.
Okay.
Look, bam, spit a loogie. He said, what?
Spit a little. Oh, there it is.
He spit on him.
That's disgusting. How dare you fucking go and spit on somebody? Who the fuck do you think you are?
But then he says, he disrespected my religion, my culture, my family.
I don't give a fuck.
You know, like, if that was me and he disrespected my culture, my family, I don't care about my culture.
With his words, though?
And my religion.
With words?
There's words and there's sticks, bro.
You feel me? Like,
there's a completely
a
different
spit is a
outcome
whole
when you
ass
use
stick
it too,
thrown
you
into
know?
your face. That's
Time,
like that's the
we were
ultimate
just talking
disrespect.
about, it's for entertainment, you know? Like,
Yeah, that's
True
what I'm
that,
saying.
true
Hey man, physically doing shit before and after the fight is not cool, and nobody agrees with that shit. You know, that's why the fight exists, is to do that and get that all out in the fight.
Yeah.
To carry it on to other shit before and after is just for the drama.
They hate
for
each
your
other,
own
bro.
personal
It's
gains,
not
you
even
know,
that.
like
Those
for your own
two people
fucking.
really hate each other.
Or you really just were triggered, and you thought your fucking, you know, opinion and honor and pride was really just that fucking tall and Napoleon, you know.
I just know that if somebody spat in my face, I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm gonna fly the fuck up and hit you
We
in your
need the
shit. Like,
rematch.
that's not cool. Well, rematch will settle that. Don't spit in people's faces. That's
You know,
not
sorry,
nice.
Connor losing again and then getting spit on again.
Yeah, if he loses again, he deserves a spit. I'm sorry.
Another one?
Nah, no one deserves the
I think he'll deserve the spit because at that point, I already know they're gonna talk mad shit pre-fight, and it's gonna be
different.
like,
It's different to say something to someone where they could just be like, because anyone, anywhere, at any time in the whole fucking world could say anything to you. That's why. But people will protect you if they come fucking smacking you down, trying to kill you, you know, or trying to like cripple you or beat you. People will help you at that point. So when you're spitting on someone, that's an action. When you're telling them your family can go suck my dick, like everybody fucking does. Yo mama jokes. Hello.
yeah.
Who fucking like really gets their feelings all up in a, you know?
Someone whose mom just died,
So what?
or someone.
How many moms die?
That's kind of
It
true.
doesn't matter how many moms die. The death of a mom, man, is something you don't take lightly.
To that person, not to everyone around. The world doesn't give a fuck. Dude.
Yeah, but
that's the hard lesson that you gotta learn. Is the
Yeah,
rest of the
whether-
world don't give a
whether-
fuck about your parents.
Yeah.
Only you do.
But they should.
Nah.
They don't, but they should, bro.
They do at
Everybody
an
should
equal
be
level to
empathetic.
everybody else, bro.
Everybody should be empathetic, especially the people who go through things in life.
Not
that are
by
traumatic.
force. Not by force.
Who's saying by force? Nobody's got to force.
You're saying
like,
they should be empathetic. Yeah, okay, but will they? You shouldn't. Like, who cares?
I don't know. That's just very cold.
It's not. It's not your responsibility to go up there and like, you know, make them feel better.
It's not your responsibility, but that's being a better person. That's
Yeah.
what we call being a better person.
Maybe, depending on what you're doing. You know, a lot of people are, you know, greedy where they think they're being just.
I
You
don't
know?
know how you're trying to justify if someone's mom dies. It doesn't matter. I mean,
What do you
it's-
mean justify? Like, what do you mean by justify that? What do you mean?
You said that if someone's
Mom's
mom
dying,
dies,
doesn't
the
matter.
world doesn't give a fuck. You know what I
Right,
mean?
because it's true.
Yeah, it's true, but I'm saying that it should. People should care. People should.
Yeah, we can
care.
say that all night, you know. Yeah, but it's not like that.
That's
We're not
just-
angels. We're humans.
Of
You
course
feel me?
we're
You feel
humans,
me?
but
We can't-
I think that people should evolve. That's what the point of being a human is,
Evolve.
learning and evolving into a better human being.
So we
not,
gotta-
not degressing into a negative human being. You know what I'm saying? And to somebody who thrives off negativity in other people's lives, and or not even just thrives, that sits back and looks at it and doesn't really do things. That's why we got a lot of the majority of the problems are because people just sit back and watch other people go through bullshit. Now, if people were to stick a hand out and help each other out, I feel like that could
I
start
think that's a
change
big
in the
problem.
world.
I think that's actually a huge problem. Is people thinking they gotta change the world before themselves, bro. It's like, what the fuck? Like, hello, get yourself
Changing the world,
on fucking
changing yourself
point, you
is
know.
a part of changing
And then
the world.
Bro, you can't help anybody in the fucking world unless you can help yourself, man. All right, and if you're getting your feelings hurt by insults and like verbal shit, then how the hell are you gonna actually go help anybody else? You can't even keep your own composure. You feel me?
I'm talking about someone's mom who actually died, and you're taking. You're
right, I'm not talking from my perspective. I'm talking about on the facts, bro. Like no, the world does not give a fuck. Russia, China, no government gives a fuck if someone's mom dies. It's not like something that, dude. You feel me? Like that's. No? I'm alone?
I understand what you mean. I'm listening because
the world doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, but
it's you and the relation to the person.
Saying that isn't true. Like, he agrees with that. You know? He's just saying that it's fucked up that people think that way.
Right. You're trying to say I'm trying to justify. Yeah, I didn't bring justice into it. You said you're trying to. How can you try to justify this? And I'm not trying to justify any of that, like as if I was. But that's. I don't get it.
Yeah, like he was saying that it's just the world doesn't care, and even though we care, there's always gonna be people that care, and there's always gonna be people that don't care. But the vast majority doesn't care because those people can care about your mom dying, but they have a mom. You know what I mean? And if their mom died, they would not give any shits about your mom for any moment at that they lost their mom.
It exists.
What do you mean?
Oh no, that's just me personally. I don't believe in like a fucking hell. I think it just sounds absurd.
Right, but that's because that's the reason I like that quote.
Oh no, I
is because I don't believe in shit.
Right. Yeah.
I don't believe in that shit. That's why I like the quote. Is because of you understand the quote. Obviously, like I mean, just like the matter of staying quiet and like letting people make the decisions for themselves. They go to conclusions and they set the board up for you sometimes.
But back to like how I said it. If everybody was more sympathetic towards everybody's fucking goals in life and things like that. And people actually, because it doesn't cost anything to help somebody.
Sympathy isn't the answer to everything.
It's not sympathy or empathy.
You know,
empathy.
Right, and also empathy
sympathy
can
is
be
feeling
enabling.
bad for people.
Empathy can also be enabling at a certain extent, especially when you got the whole world doing it. And how are you gonna have the whole world doing it for every person who loses a mom, which is every day? I'm sure everybody's losing a mom every day, dude. Or somebody is what I mean.
That's the whole point of having a positive outlook, though, bro. That's the whole point of looking at it in a very optimistic point of view. You want to have an optimistic point of view. You don't want to have a pessimistic point of view, especially towards things that can better the world. Because like that's kind of like the same shit on these people with climate change. They keep on being dismissive. If you're being dismissive, how are you ever going to even see if a point or a gesture could even come to light if you're already dismissing it and this and that because the world works like this? Who are you to say? You know what I'm saying? Who are you to say that the world looks like this? You've only been around here how long? How many years have you been around?
21. You got to do your own research on shit, man.
Yeah, and even then, there's so much to learn in life, bro.
Yeah,
you always got to reach for the stars, bro, and learn as much as you can.
The problem is when people hear, oh, this guy is going for, environmental protection. Like, oh, okay, I'm going to give him my vote. It's like, all right, you didn't read any details. You didn't know what he's saying. You don't know the research he actually has done on the topic. So he might be debating someone who might sound like they're against the environment, but really they have the real facts and they're trying to prevent this guy who's all in it for the money.
Shout out
and the
Bill
people
Nye.
Who care about that shit.
Shout out
Bill Nye. That motherfucker right there. Bill.
Hey, Bill
Nye.
Guy.
Trying to fuck people over and shit.
What?
He's got fake, dude. He was trying to stir the pot so bad, bro. Like the world was ending tomorrow, bro, and he was trying to get money from the government.
You never seen all right, they have there's a new study out. You can pull it up. They're talking about if we don't start changing our like trying to change our climate change, what's going to be happening to our climate is going to be irreversible by 2030.
All right, but let's talk within the
that's a fact
within our things. All right, so what do you believe we should do? Like, do you think we should? What should we turn to?
I don't have the answers, man. Like I said, we should turn to somebody
right.
who has a powerful voice because voice is one of the most powerful things in the world, if not the most powerful thing.
But do you believe it's a problem that the people should take care of, or the government should take care of?
Well, right now, like think about it. Like we are the people. Could we take care of it?
Yeah.
How?
What do you mean? People drive every day. People are the reason of this.
How can we how can we change it? Like how can without guidance? We need especially this day and age.
Tesla is an option, bro, for everybody. And they're coming up with more and more things like the solar energy, bro. Like your roof can literally be solar energy.
I'm just saying that the mind state that a lot of people are in nowadays. I don't know. I'm not trying to speak on everybody, but if everybody was on the same page, there wouldn't be so much controversy in the United States. And right now, it's
Not everybody's
Bro,
willing to get
I
on
don't
the
even
same
wanna-
page. It's
Yeah,
the
but-
middle ground that matters. You feel me? We don't have to agree on everything. It's where we meet in the middle and know that we're both coming from the same place.
But there's
You feel
there
me?
are ultimate truths, like so
Like, you know, Kanye thinks that what he's doing is right, bro. You don't think you're looking at him, bro. He's not doing that thinking, oh, I'm about to fuck over the whole country. He's doing that thinking that's the right thing to do. All right, like as hard as that may be to accept, but that's it. That's his right.
you don't know that though. Unless
Bro.
I told you.
Your rights are not necessarily someone else's rights, you know. But like, what's right
All
and
you
wrong?
see
You
is
feel
what
me?
what he says in front of millions of people, and I think, like I said, I think he's a master manipulator when it comes to media, and I just think that I don't know. I don't know what to believe. I don't honestly. I think anything is possible.
You should believe what you believe and
Anything.
the facts that you know, and the facts you update them as fast as you can.
But things change all the time,
But
even in
frequently.
science. Even in science.
That's what I
That's
said.
that's
So
why they don't
update
even-
them as frequent as you can because things always change. That's also a fact.
Yeah.
So, but Kanye, you can't sit there and say he's coming from the devil when he himself, like, he obviously is not coming from like, oh, I'm trying to destroy shit. Like, if he is, then he hasn't talked
I don't
about
know.
it
He
yet.
did say he wanted to abolish the 13th Amendment that prohibits slavery and
And you yourself
abolishes
know
slavery.
that he went back on it and said amend is what he meant to mean.
But
So-
when you post something, it's not like a thought where you just say it. You look at it and you press the post button.
What does Facebook say in your post box? What's on your mind?
No, but what he's saying is that you have to reread your post, before you post it. Like people make sure
You don't
that
have to.
You don't have to, but most people they at least reread for fucking.
They
You
think
know,
about
especially
it.
famous
grammatical
people,
errors,
especially somebody who's a master manipulator of the fucking media.
But
Someone
Kanye's
that-
got that place.
Emotions,
Like
bro.
he's allowed to say whatever he wants, according to what most artists say. Like they
Especially in America.
let Kanye say whatever he wants. Whenever he's on some
And
wild
why-
shit,
why is
they
he-
give him his space?
Like, what does it mean if he does say that? You feel me? Like, okay, let's put him in that box of like, all right, he believes what he's doing, but like, he's in a weird box of like, he's trying to abolish that shit. Maybe
And
he's
you
trying to
know what
bring
it means?
slavery
He's
back.
He's a motherfucking coon. That's what it means. He's a fucking coon.
Right.
Straight up. That's
Why
what
are
it
your
means.
right and like what's right and wrong more, correct than someone else's version of what's right and wrong?
Because fucking controlling people without their free will. Everybody is entitled, in my opinion, to free will and freedom of speech. And I definitely believe in a lot of the things that America stands for. And that right there is just very un-American, dog. You know what I'm saying? We fucking fought how many hundreds of thousands. I've actually visited.
What's
the memorial.
un-American?
Talking
What he did?
about, yeah, what he said. That's like talking about like what people fought and died for, and he's going back and all these families and black people especially during the Civil War who fought for the freedom and independence, like not independence but freedom for their.
Well, it's more. I don't want to get into.
It's,
the
no, it's
statistics
more
right
over
now.
money. Yes, if you want to get into.
Well, there
like,
was
the
more
details.
white people that died for slavery to be abolished than black people, and that's that's not a fact everybody likes, but
No,
like that's just
it's-
history for
right,
it.
that's
Because
true.
everyone likes to pull out black and women, like.
But it
everybody
doesn't
likes to
matter.
pull that
It
shit
doesn't
out.
matter, man. But it was the cause
Well,
that they were fighting for.
Then they wouldn't say it if it didn't matter
the
to them.
cause
But-
that they're fighting for. is what
You guys can
matters.
jump in whenever you want. By the way.
Oh no, I'm learning.
You guys are
I'm
talking.
learning. I'm almost into different perspectives. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, but I like your perspective just as much as Naje's and yours as well. You feel me? And I don't like mine all specially. I like mine the least out of the
I
four
mean,
of
it's
us.
not that.
So.
It's like you guys aren't talking, having a conversation. I don't want to just break into with some bullshit. You guys,
I
are
think-
fucking- you're going on a tangent streak.
Me, I think that everybody has a right to say whatever they want to say per se, as long as it's not threatening to anybody. And I think Kanye is somebody whose word can be people take seriously because of his where his
The
standing.
majority of the
social
people
Right.
who were enslaved.
But you
were
can't
black
say,
people.
but you can't say that he's
There
manipulating
was
people.
no white people.
We
who
can't-
By
we cannot-
people,
we
or you
cannot
mean
say
by
that
like
he's manipulating
Americans?
people
By
because-
what?
Americans, yes,
Or what?
and all around the world too. I mean,
Because
the
go
first
back to the
slaves
beginning
in-
of humanity.
Oh,
Slaves.
dog, nigga, what are we gonna
Slaves.
go back? Let's just go
Slaves.
back 50. Let's go back 50 years when they couldn't even. Let's go back 50 years.
There
when they
weren't
couldn't
slaves
even-
50 years ago.
50 years,
in
they couldn't even
America.
drink out of the same water fountain. They couldn't. Cops,
Yeah,
black
Jim
cops
Crow, it
couldn't
fucking
own,
sucked.
couldn't own
We're not.
guns. What's it called? They
We're
couldn't
not
walk
the
around
same
with guns.
as we were then
Fucking
either.
black people had to sit in back of the bus. There was obviously a white privilege back then. That was more. How do you say it? Like more visually like.
It wasn't a white privilege. It was a citizen privilege. and they were not full citizens. They were not considered full
There were
citizens.
2/3,
And once women
2/3 of a man
and black men like got their
But
own
that's not right.
rights to be a
That's
full
not right.
citizen,
That's not
which
right.
is what gave them all of the equal rights as white
They
men.
should have had it from the get. They should have had their rights from the get, man.
They didn't start the country, so like I don't understand what you mean. If the culture at the time is one thing, why are you gonna go back in time and say you guys should have been this and like say that's a point? You know, it's
I
like
think that everything
it happened the way
was
it
animal
happened.
instinct.
You feel me? You can't blame someone nowadays for some shit like India got invaded like
I don't
by
know,
3 different countries.
What's
What are you
the
gonna reprimand it?
incarceration rate? The percentage of black people that are
What's the answer?
incarcerated compared to white people nowadays?
What's the
it's
answer?
absurd. It's like over 70% of the people incarcerated are minority or black, and then not even considering I'm talking about minority, just black. I think it's like over 70% if I'm not mistaken, and that itself speaks in volume.
I haven't updated myself on any statistics this year.
That speaks in volume in its
Any
own,
of those
so it's
at
like,
least. But
I don't know, man. I mean, you could sit here and say that, like, you know, like things happen.
what's
the
the
way they
answer?
happen.
Is my point. Like if you're gonna say that matters,
The
and there's
answer
white
is that
privilege 'cause of
everybody
it.
needs to
What's the
acknowledge
answer?
everybody as equal people, and
Right.
everybody
Okay.
needs to get together and try to like better the country. We're over here, like Joe Rogan said, we're living off a base of rules that were written over 200 years ago, while the people wrote it in with feathers and fucking lanterns and shit, you know. And I feel like it's time that we need to we should have been bettering what we started. You know what I'm saying? Now we're just kind of.
You know why it's so hard to get shit done in the U.S. like through law and passing bills and shit? It's to weed out the bullshit. It's to weed out all the shit that we don't want, the corruption, you know, all the bad ideas. You know, that's why it takes so long for America to change in certain ways, and that's why things are gone like slavery and Jim Crow laws. They're not here because America's not like that. And that's a plain fact, bro. Black and white. Like as time goes, like people change, you know, times change. It just like, what are we gonna do? Go back in time and say sorry to somebody like for our ancestors?
You can make amends for it now.
How?
You can
How?
definitely make
How?
amends for
Say,
it
say,
now.
give me an example.
I don't know, man. Just give the people what they want, man.
And how do the Persians make their, you know, amends to the Spartans for, you know, invading and
That's not
raping
even relevant
all the
right
women?
now because these people
There's
aren't
much
around.
more.
Those people
What about
aren't
Germany
around.
today? What about Germany today?
And Germany's a fine country. Germany's.
How
fine,
can you
but-
say that? Why don't they amend for all the shit that they've done? Raped all the people they raped, all the world domination they've
Whole
been trying to
Project
fucking do.
Paperclip, and then we
It's not
did,
just
we-
one
we
time.
We hunted them down.
They tried taking over the
sent-
world 2
They
times.
sent
You
people
feel
to
me?
kill them. Everybody.
Not just Hitler.
Bro, the people that we didn't recruit into the
Or was it?
United States
I
specifically,
don't remember.
they
think it was the second
they
one,
sent
right?
people, assassins, to hunt these people
Yeah.
down. They did. That's a historical fact. They sent assassins after these people to kill them after World War II, and then everybody fled. That didn't fled,
Including George Soros. I don't know about that, but
and Warner Van Braun. You know, we used to hang people, and you know he's credited for us going to the moon, and also credited for the Mars
evil.
Project.
Yeah, no, that
And that's-
shit's awesome and crazy. That's book worthy. All that. Like you have to go to like the most mad scientists to get the best of, you know, results. And that's fucking awesome. Albert Einstein wasn't American. You know that.
Yeah, but he definitely wasn't on he didn't fuck with what the Germans had going on, and that's why he
Yeah.
knew that he had to give the atom bomb to the United States and work for the United States.
Right.
Because he felt in his heart.
And he was gonna give it to
He
somebody
had-
else. I feel like the Britons or something, and he decided not to because he like it was some like intent
It was
was
a whole team, though.
like-
Dog. It wasn't just him. It was a whole team of people. Like, you know, Barack Obama's dad was a part of that building the atom bomb and shit like that.
What?
Yeah, man.
Barack Obama's dad.
Yes.
Dun dun. You heard it here first.
Yes.
Excuse me, look that shit up.
Not even. Look it up.
Barack Obama's dad helped build the atom bomb.
Fact check.
That the one that dropped on Hiroshima.
Yeah, but
Cause I don't remember hearing that when he was running for president. Like if it was something to brag about.
Yeah.
Maybe he wanted them Asian votes.
I'm gonna look
You
at
feel
me,
me, bro?
dancing around, la la la, dancing around.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't really brag about that if I was Obama.
Batch, there's a lot of shit going on in our
I mean-
world. You know, and it's crazy because we're still musicians in the midst of all of this, but all of this does cross our mind as much as you because we are still human beings like you. All the shit that you're probably thinking about, we probably think about that shit too at 2 a.m. in the
I
morning.
know you were doubting our humanity.
But we were born and raised here like you, not dropped off on that meteorite that came from Mars. Just kidding. Wait, which part am I kidding about?
We're not Martians.
Yeah.
Yo, pass me my XJ1 modulator.
Another next to the Martian cassette tape.
Oh, yeah, just leave it there. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's sleeping right now.
I hate when it wakes up, bro. It always makes like a big splat and leaves a mess somewhere, and then
It
sometimes
won't stop with the beeping noise.
Yeah, and like it disintegrates the ground all the time, bro. Like one time I thought I saw the core of the earth, but it was just lava.
Yeah, man. One time it shat like right in front of my neighbor's door, and they went out to go check the mail, and it was just a really.
I think it was his mom.
They got 4 inches of snow that day.
That's wild.
You
Fun
just
fact,
thought that
kids,
one-
don't play with XJ1 modulators.
didn't
I
look
did.
it up.
I lit it up.
Oh, that shit's hitting.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is it now? Well, that's on the side because we're not losing subject. But hey, guys, 6ix9ine got his back. I didn't
what?
see. He's going. He got 9 for 9 because he's talking about how he's ready to go 10 for 10 with his most recent song. Don't even. Okay, first of all, let me just address this real quick.
9 for 9.
I love 6ix9ine. I would never.
for better.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love 6ix9ine, guys, but this is not happening. He's not going 10 for 10. And I don't know if you guys heard the song, but pretty much, you know, his gimmick
You're
is
putting
make a song.
negative energy out there towards his.
I'm not putting negative energy out yet.
success.
How about this?
Wait, let me finish.
Good shit to you for getting that done.
Because I liked his shit. The thing is that now his gimmick, I feel like since Gotti has been like kind of going down a little bit. I like Fifi, but now
What's the gimmick exactly?
the gimmick is basically he raps in his style, then he comes in with some type of weird loop of some type of like some lit shit, bum ba bum bum with a drum to the drum. I'm like,
Right.
that I didn't think that was creative at all.
And then
In the slightest, I was like, "Damn, 6ix9ine." Now I see him. He's running out of ideas because that shit right there, that's like the laziest shit you could do. That's just how I feel
Right,
about
but
it.
What other rapper have you heard use that?
Well, every other like
Really?
singer pretty much like they do shit like that, and then Nicki Minaj had a song. I was like, "You can feel the boom, 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 boom." Got that super
Oh,
big.
that's what she was doing on that. I
Yeah.
didn't even think about that like that.
That's one song, but she's not the first person to do that
Okay.
before. And I remember it kind of reminds me when like
Yeah, but
Jay-Z
don't-
was doing that freestyle with Big L, and he started going but the wigga, like he kind of started saying like catchy words that were like in hip hop, but they weren't really words to say like in a line. It's just like to say together real quick, just come up with something really
Right,
creative,
right.
and then go transition to what you gotta say. And I thought that him doing that bum drum to the drum, he's using the same words that he always uses. You know, he has a certain word like type of words that he uses in the vocabulary to rap around.
Right.
And bum drum to the drum, I didn't think that shit was cool. I was like, oh, you're running out of ideas. That's all I heard from that song. 10 out of 10 is his last one.
Okay, it's funny that you say that. Because
talking about the one where he was driving in the sand and shit.
Yeah. Oh, but the thing is, somebody that I know.
I thought that one was pretty
listened To Tekashi, he told me that he thought that was actually pretty cool.
I thought
That's
that was
the
a good
thing.
song.
I feel like that's not gonna strike everybody that listens to him. Like his main audience that
That
listens to him,
actually
they're
got
gonna be
me
like,
more
oh,
into 6ix9ine. That song.
that
Yeah,
song.
right?
That's weird.
Yo Gotti
In fact,
was trash.
yeah.
No, I said Gotti.
That was trash.
No, that shit was live, bro. For the type of song it was supposed to
Right,
be.
right. You are a different listener in that aspect. You found that song live. I found it trash.
Well,
you
well,
find
wait,
this
wait,
new
wait,
song
but
that's different.
That's because
trash.
no, that's
find
because
it
how
live.
about I class it, and I class it based off the type of music that he makes, and his like I said, his gimmick, rap, lit shit, loop. There's a loop. He always changes his style
So out
mid
of
there
your-
to
out of
make
your-
it poppy.
instead of out
And
of
I don't think that
his
shit. I don't think that shit was
consistency.
poppy
Right,
because
right.
it was lazy.
So instead of basing it off of his consistency on like his style, let's base it off of your personal opinion,
All right, if we base off my personal opinion, I think
your taste.
my taste. I like 6ix9ine. I think 6ix9ine does what he does really well, and that song isn't bad. I thought the song
Which
was.
song does he do better in, and which song is better song? You feel me?
I think that
In your taste.
Gotti's a better
Which
song
one?
in taste because of the type of sound.
Your
that-
taste.
Yeah, my taste. It has it's really vibey. It's like literally, it's literally for everybody to listen to. Whereas that song's a little more harder. It's a little more some street shit. It's not really for everybody. And then that bum drum to the drum shit, I was just like, dude, like, because we've heard him transition so much better before with so much style. And then when I heard that, I was just like, I know that this nigga's running out of ideas. He probably didn't even write that, guys. It's just like, with that drum to them. I'm just like listening to him, and I'm like, Now Fifi, he had his own little type of. It was kind of weird because Fifi was more so in like one style, but
thing is, bro, I didn't find the hook, like that bum part. Like I don't find that at the littest part of that song. I found like his actual verses to be like pretty hardcore, like the way he came in with the energy. And all that
his
shit.
verses are not bad. I said that transition was weak because of the fact that that's his gimmick, to have a type of lit transition, and his transition was shit. That's how I felt about it.
Well, I mean, it did start
like
the stupid challenge.
I didn't think
heard
that.
someone that thought
They don't listen to
That's the
6ix9ine.
thing.
Then that's why I said from his listeners. Like
that's
me,
because they don't like Gotti. Because those things.
well, a
they
lot of
don't
people
like.
don't even
And
know
then
Gotti
he's-
hit the radio. A lot of people don't. A
No,
lot of people
I don't
know.
even care if it hit the radio. I heard it on YouTube.
It was on the radio, but a lot of people didn't know about that song.
Yeah, but you know,
I
not,
didn't.
Not
I
everyone's
didn't
on
hear
the
that song
radio
until
anyway.
a year later. Straight
A
up.
lot of people knew about Gotti. A lot of people. It just wasn't, all Florida shit.
That's
know?
true. Florida don't.
I don't know if it was New York. I don't know if it was in New York. I don't know where. I know Cali fucked with it. Had to fuck with it. Like, come on, listen to the song. Cali's fucking with it already. You can listen to a song like by G-Eazy and shit. You're like, yeah, this isn't Cali. It's bumping in Cali.
Yeah.
But bro,
He's from East Coast though.
it's two different songs though, man. No, but he moved to Cali and his sound is so Cali. You know that.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like some like in
Jeezy,
comparison to Fifi and then whatever song that was before that and then another song and then Gotti. I'm like,
But
I just
Gotti
wasn't.
was
I just
the first one that I heard by him.
dude, that's the song that
When
pulled
it
me
was
into
like
him.
pretty much like around when it came out. I think like the same couple days it came out on World Star, right?
Yeah, it came out on World Star. But when we heard it, like at least when I brought the song up,
the
that
music
shit was
video.
like practically
Well,
like
I'm
a
trying
year
to
or
fix
two
it.
later because that song
get
was
it
actually
wrong.
like 2016 if I'm not mistaken, 2016, 2017. So I missed that. I was not indulging in 6ix9ine because when I first came across him, I thought he was gonna be nobody, and then I didn't even know he was 6ix9ine until one day I looked him up, and I'm like, that's who 6ix9ine is. That nigga that I said wasn't gonna be shit.
Right.
I'm like, what the fuck? Holy crap! And then his music's lit. I have nothing against 6ix9ine except for that bum that fucking lazy ass transition. It wasn't lit. It wasn't lit. God damn it.
Hey, they got the
Okay.
stupid challenge, man. The stupid challenge, kind of like the Shiggy challenge, the Shiggy dance. They got the stupid dance where like a lot of people are doing that little dance that he does in the middle of that little side step,
Right.
And that's giving him clout. So I mean, a lot of people fuck with that too. Like people don't.
Everyone's saying this bump. That's reminding me of a different song.
It's
Well,
boom,
it
boom, boom,
comes
boom,
from-
boom, bass. You got that super bass, boom.
Yeah,
that's
Nicki Minaj. Dude,
But-
that's.
We were just talking about that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought I didn't hear Nicki Minaj, so I didn't know.
Maybe I brought her up because she was in Fifi. Can't discredit her. She
Boom,
did her
boom,
thing
boom,
on
boom,
Fifi.
boom, boom. Something. I don't know.
6ix9ine is live, and he's gonna go far. He's not going anywhere, even if he doesn't go 10 for 10. He's probably gonna go 10 for 10. Another issue I had with it was why the fuck is Bobby Shmurda on the song? I didn't even hear his part. Why is Shmurda on the song? And I know it's also because of hype, just to upset people to get more look into
Where's
it. Why
Bobby from?
Nigga, Bobby's locked up. The fuck?
Where's he
I
from?
think
He's
Nicki
fucking
Minaj
murdered.
is sleeping, bro.
Huh?
He's
I
asking
think
where
Nicki
he's
Minaj
from.
is sleeping. I think she should put all of her
New
music
York or
videos on
Chicago?
Pornhub.
That's why he put
High
Bobby
key, her
on
and
the-
Doja
that's
Cat.
why he put
Like
Bobby
it's
on
almost
the
like
same
she's
location.
trying to make her music videos a
Now,
fucking
if they
porno.
weren't, then I'd wonder
Just
why
the way
he put
like
them
she
on the
looks.
song.
Right.
Like I've
And
seen
also, it's a hit from Bobby
like that
Shmurda.
music video.
Like
Oh, yeah,
Kodak
yeah.
said,
Like I saw that
you
one.
know,
It
like
was
they
like
love you when
fucking
you locked up, and then they hate you.
all
when
those
you're
colors
free,
and
you know?
shit.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like
definitely.
You know,
Imagine-
imagine all the love boost he got.
I mean, it's
when
just
he
a big.
was locked
imagine
up.
all those
for
porn
both
videos
of
instead of
them.
being so like
But
close
I'm
up
not
like in a
condoning it.
random
He is a
room, just like
murderer,
all
you
like
know what I'm
colorful and
saying?
shit.
Definitely not.
Dude, that'd be crazy.
I also think that he should have just had Kodak on that song because he had a list of artists to feature. It was Drake, Kodak, Yo Gotti, and Bobby Shmurda, and I'm like Kodak, like easily
Where's Bobby
Kodak.
from?
I forgot where Bobby's from. I don't give a fuck about Bobby.
Everybody
Fuck Bobby.
voted for Kodak.
Why don't you like Bobby? Shmurda?
You feel me? Like,
I
I could've
saw the
sworn every
poll. I
comment
saw the
was
poll.
fucking
Everybody
Kodak.
said because he put a poll out and everybody hit. Pass that to Quesada. Everybody hit a Kodak on that shit.
Yeah.
It was. I don't understand why he's featuring Bobby Shmurda.
Like, and Kodak would have been the best decision ever, but I feel like
Look at all the weed I got right here.
they just didn't want to put fucking Florida on the map more.
Chill out.
Chill out, bro.
Like literally, you could have put Kodak on, and that would have did so much more for like rap in general because he's from Florida. But instead, he chose Bobby Shmurda, fucking a clout beast and shit. Somebody who was actually out there. He was on that street shit. He got in trouble for it. Supposedly, he snitched. And he was on watch, and then he went back. He got put back in. They raised his bail every single time. And well, when you out there doing that fuck shit, nigga, that's just what it is. The law's gonna fuck you. And I don't think that this nigga should be getting glorified in any type of regard. I don't fuck with anything that this nigga represents in that sense. Because it's like, what the fuck? You're just promoting the same shit all these other rappers are doing that most niggas are saying
and then saying you're
not
doing it.
I agree with
And then saying you're not doing it. It's so fucking stupid.
You out here making songs about killing people. It's one thing to like make a lie to be like, oh, yeah, I killed it. I killed the track. I killed that nigga. You know, that's all fine and dandy. But you out here doing it and then you're trying to come off like, yeah, I'm hard as fuck because I live by that shit. Like, nigga, you're just telling kids to do it. And you know you are. Because you know, like, 40-year-olds, they're not bumping that shit. 30-year-olds aren't bumping that shit. The 20-year-olds are bumping just because they fuck with the vibe. But they're not. Most kids are not out there shooting people, at least in, like, my matrix and here in Florida in this area.
At least be honest with what you're doing, right? This testosterone music, hormonal music, trying to turn people up. Just be honest about it. You gotta talk about that.
I hit that shit, bro.
Yeah, I'm a real fat one right now.
All right, roll. Shit, yes, I ain't rolling another way. Shit. Guys, be honest with yourselves. If you're a musician, the best advice to take right now is just to be yourself fully and figure yourself out. Practice everything. Don't be afraid to test something out. If you don't like a nigga but you like his style, test his style out and implement your own type of way around it. You know what I mean? You can literally learn something from everybody because a lot of these styles these rappers do was already done. High Key, Chief Keef did most of what these niggas do.
But like what Zach was saying, you gotta adapt. You gotta adapt in like in a sense that like you gotta like even though like you know don't take a style. Yeah, don't take the style, but certain kids can only adapt to certain like. Everybody has their limitations in a sense. You know what I'm saying? The world isn't perfect, and
but
people aren't perfect.
But
that's a part. That's just part of makes the world not perfect. That people aren't perfect.
But they just can't.
Right.
But I think people shouldn't think that they have limitations. At least
Right.
in that area, in that regard
you're
with
right.
music.
Yeah, especially with their creativity. There's no boundaries when it comes to creativity.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the proof. There's proof of that hundreds of years ago. Leonardo da Vinci. Let's hit that motherfucker. That motherfucker painted a painting with his maestro. It's a true story. It's actual like.
There's no boundaries, definitely, to your creativity, but there are, like you were saying, boundaries to your ability, right?
Yeah.
But you can't presume
But you
those
can
boundaries.
always overcome that. You can always overcome.
Right,
anything.
but never
like how
assume
people,
that.
Like how people
Never
overcome
assume that.
parallelism and things like that. You know that it's actual physical damage. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Mental and creativity is something like the brain never stops learning and evolving. Like
Yeah, it's
the brain is the longest living organ. Like your brain. Supposedly your brain can live longer like than the human body can or some shit like that.
it's a waste of breath to say I can't sing, I can't rap.
You manifest it by even saying I can't.
Yeah.
You own it.
You're putting this limitation on yourself of something you've never even tried to do. Like when you put those limitations or boundaries, like I can't do that. Do it first and see if you can actually do it. And if you can't do it, then you could say that.
But then
you
that
can't do
applies to all aspects in life, even the fact that one man can change the world.
Look at Japan, bro. They'll dedicate their whole body and life to like being able to do something that humans aren't normally capable of doing, you know?
Yeah.
Like that shit crazy, bro. Like the ballet and shit they would do over there. And fucking like the girls and shit, they would like morph their fucking feet.
Oh yeah.
You
That
know,
shit's wild.
break their toes.
High key.
It's just as wild.
Just so they can hit like stay on it and spit like bro, that shit's wild.
Because I don't
Isn't
think
it
they
weird
feel it
also
after
that we
that,
can
bro.
show our nipples and women can't?
No, because you know, we
we can flex our
women
nipples.
aren't savages like we are. You feel me?
Yeah, we get. It's almost
What
like
do you mean? Why? I've met some savage women in my life.
Right.
You never seen
It's
Never
never
heard of
it's
Riley
never been,
Reid?
that's not how
There's like a
like
majority
women are
of
bred
women.
like
And
in
that's
like
also
in like a
never been
matrix
normal.
amongst humans because women
Are you
like
talking
they
about
teach
a
them to
savage
be
like it is in
more
Europe,
consoled.
yeah.
in a sexual sense, or are you talking
Yeah,
about
maybe-
savage as in
I mean,
what type
Europe,
of sense?
yeah.
I think he meant savage and like
Because women are
over-
capable of just
Yeah,
like
well,
they're
it's like
fighting
at least
back,
more
like,
like in
they're
like
capable of
the
anything
beaches
as men
and
are
shit.
capable
It's
of.
not
You
like
feel me?
people
In
just
every
walking around
aspect.
shirtless.
So,
like,
like,
I mean, you have naked
that
beaches
saying,
over there.
yeah,
I don't
well,
know,
no,
you show
it's
every
that
other
I
part of
believe
your
every
body,
beach you
like,
can do
you
that.
know, but-
Like you can
Yeah.
Just be naked.
maybe it's their
Well,
mental
not
savage
totally,
because
but on top
we
of
have
it.
They're more
Yeah,
sophisticated
you
with
can.
it. We're like,
We're not-
no, we
when I
don't
went to
cover our
Spain,
shit.
hell
They
yeah,
cover
bro,
their
it was
shit.
just there on the strip, like
know?
Miami
You
Beach.
see
That's
European
that's
bitches
what I
come
guess
to
you could
come to
get
Miami
if you're
beaches
coming
and
that way.
they just go out there out of habit, you know. They just fucking
I
have
agree,
their
though.
tops off. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I mean,
It's so
think
funny
about it.
because you're at the beach and you're just like, this bitch changing her bathing suit. She don't give a fuck who watching. She just in her zone, just like
Is she a lighter?
tits out, looking
Oh, I got
looking
it.
through her shit, grabbing a beer or whatever the fuck. Oh, that sucks. You can't even drink at our beaches anymore. We got red tide and shit.
Yeah, man. You know, does anybody get the sense that we're at war with the ocean?
At war with the ocean.
From
What do you mean?
hurricanes.
Just like I don't know, like you know how we're killing off a lot of like we kill off a lot of like dolphins and sharks with our
Right.
nets and
Yeah.
like
There's a lot
we
of
kill-
invasive
there's a
species
lot
here
of-
now too.
there's a lot of not from here and I don't know, just a lot of things that we
No,
do
no,
like
I
you
know, I see
drilling
what you're
oil,
saying. I thought you
like
meant,
that
like, the
oil
ocean.
spill, like you know what I'm
Right.
saying, it fucked up the Gulf Coast permanently,
Right.
you know, and like we're still suffering from
Bro,
that.
we know more about, you know, what was it?
You know what we're told.
I mean, we have people trying.
We
to
know
work
more
on these
about our
problems.
solar system than we do our own ocean, right?
That's
Yeah.
what they say. That's what they say. You know.
I mean, we know a shit ton about our
In the
solar
Wait, like, what are you
podcast.
trying to
Come
say?
join the
I
podcast
got
right now.
confused.
Yeah, now I'm confused. Wait, I thought
Alright, what I'm trying to say
ocean is
I think
extraordinary.
that we might know a little bit more than what we say about the ocean, like kind of like space.
That's why facts change, bro.
I don't
They
know.
get
In
updated.
history, they talk about how we were at war with like the Kraken and like there was monsters and sea
We're at war
monsters.
with the Kraken.
Not at war with it, but those are bad words to use. But we killed the Kraken and like all these different crazy animals we talk about.
We found a
killing.
giant squid,
Like
the
any-
colossal squid.
Yeah.
The colossal squid. Yeah,
We discovered it.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
real thing.
it's a real thing. Yeah.
It's just not as big as those paintings where they, you know,
As they
make
s-
it
maybe back
huge,
then,
like
maybe-
the size of 4 ships.
But you know
As
how
far
they
as we
have,
know.
but you know how as
Maybe
far as
they
we
find a bigger one.
exactly as far as we know. But how about like how we know about the megalodon? You know what I'm saying? And like how we had
The
they had
only
bigger,
place
Shaq
that,
just
bigger-
texted me.
well, we're getting into the Marianas Trench, where it's the only place it would survive, and like we have ever been
Back
able to
then, I
see
just
it,
think
and
it
it would
was-
not be able to see if that was the case. It'd be blind, right?
Yes.
all the documents. I'm just saying, I'm trying to say that are documented back then that we consider mythology. I just think that that we're very dismissive towards those people, and these are the people that invented astrology, mathematics, literature, art, music,
Right.
and I think that
The
they
thing
should.
is that you have to read those things a certain way. It's not taking it
Yeah,
so
no,
literally. You
but
know
what
I mean?
if anything's possible in this
Yeah.
world? What if they
I-
weren't lying? And what if a lot of the things that they were saying were true? And we're kind of like, and if you see nowadays,
Like what?
you don't see
What?
Well, a
What
Leviathan,
was
so
saying,
the Leviathan,
what
the
was
Leviathan
true?
was actually real.
What
It was,
was
it was
true?
it was considered, it was like a prehistoric whale. They believed to have like
Mm.
14-inch teeth. That was what a Leviathan was, and that's considered like a dragon and a bunch of other mythologies, but it's actually a whale.
Right.
Like
no, just like in like history when they talk about like like even in Egyptian mythology, Greek mythology, they have a lot of like half humans, half beast descriptions, and
Right.
they draw them out. They don't only just write about them. They draw these creatures out, and they give brief descriptions and a pretty quite well like explanation in the story on like how what the part in the history of like how important it was of slaying this, and you know what I'm saying.
I think that's
Like,
just a fun way of trying to tell like a story and give
Remember
some
when we
type of
watched that?
I had a
Hieroglyphics.
take that this girl was saying that they
Yeah,
could have
my
just
dad's
been
house.
bored,
Yeah,
and then you know what I'm
Well,
saying.
like that's true, but I mean, like, but I think it's just a way of teaching a lesson
his life was
in a
dedicated
fun
to
way, you
studying
know,
the
like
pyramids.
Or they
it's
might
not
have
like
been
a-
trying to explain it to
In
the
that
best of
one
their
spot,
ability.
Right, or yeah,
I guess
that's
Sister
true.
Pharaoh
That's
was
the best
buried.
way they could have explained certain
Some-
things, because they didn't have a lot
possibly
of
like
words
some
that we have
hieroglyph.
today.
Yeah,
Back
exactly.
there.
And some of them are like warning.
There's certain spots in Egypt where like people are trying to get to, like they're just like so hard to like convince like you know, I guess whoever's in charge of
But
that shit.
back
right
to
now.
the ocean thing, like
To
the
touch
reefs
it
are
up.
dying off, the fucking red tides are killing animals. You know what I'm saying? It's like a whole bunch of shit going on right now.
You know,
it's
oil
pretty-
spills.
And it's the oil spills and a lot of things. I just think I don't know, man. I don't know what to think nowadays. Nowadays, I'm just kind of waiting for everything to unfold, because there's so many different things. People have so many different, like, especially if you watch all these series and documentaries.
Right.
And you get into like these people's minds. There's so many different takes on what could and what couldn't have been, and what is and what isn't. So it's like you kind of just have to
Right.
like part of life, like I was saying earlier, is you figuring it out on your own.
Personally, I think all those like people you were mentioning, those specific ones, the significant people, like was Isaac Newton that guy?
Isaac Newton
With the
discovered
astrology?
gravity.
Huh?
He discovered Isaac
Yeah.
Newton is the guy for
Gravity?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he's the one.
Who was the one with astrology or astronomy?
Even though Leonardo da Vinci had notes
Galileo.
talking about gravity
Galileo.
over 400 years
With
before
stars and
Isaac
all that,
Newton.
constellations. All these people, bro, they got their funding from the government and shit, but you know the government were all like about gods and like Christianity, all that shit. Like they were more towards like the idea
Catholicism
of
more
gods and more of that. Not saying that like you know people like Galileo and them were like atheists or something. They're not atheists, but they were never you know always hand in hand with the beliefs of like the majority at the time. You know they were always the odd ones out.
Yeah,
You
some
know?
Oh yeah. Like Leonardo da Vinci, he was considered more of a threat than for his knowledge and the things that he was capable of of promoting within other people's minds and the things he actually did. Like they actually thought of him more of a threat because of how powerful his mind was and the things that he knew, you know, than the things that he actually built. You know, back in the day, they really did focus on controlling the population through ignorance.
Yeah.
But nowadays, we're past that. But in a sense.
Who's your favorite idol out of like
Leonardo
all of
da
history?
Vinci. Leonardo
Da Vinci?
Yeah.
What about you,
Hands
Spencer?
down.
All of history.
Imitation is the biggest form of flattery. If I
That's
had to
something right there.
imitate anybody, be like anybody, be him.
too much. My favorite, I can't say that I have a favorite, to be honest. A lot of what I learned, how I process things, was just based off of reading different types of mythologies and belief systems, because they were always intriguing. Because like, you know, you have like America doesn't really necessarily have a mythology unless you're gonna count like the Indians' belief systems and shit. And theirs are pretty scary about what's going on around them. And then some of them have like more benevolent beings, and some of them are they just consider them things that walk around you. Like, and some of them can be people, you know what I mean? Like, in a sense where people are actually like that, because you could just be in a place where everybody's yelling, and then you could be in a place where nobody's saying anything. You know, and be like, I try to say that everything is potentially possible, so I'll never rule it out. I always think about it, but I do know in my mind where I think that something's just like haywire, like that doesn't make any sense. But I think everybody here is making sense of what they're saying.
Right. Yeah. Are you? What's your favorite?
Yeah, I don't have a favorite.
I don't
That was
know.
beginning of my
It's
point.
just-
Idol.
Just pick one. Pick one that all right that you like.
There's gotta be like in terms
Significantly.
Of what, in terms of what though?
History.
Yeah,
Significant
but I'm saying
people.
but like someone I look
Like
up
people
to.
we were.
I'd
we
say
were
Buddha.
naming, you know.
I think Buddha's
Historical
pretty
figures.
interesting because he was real.
That's the category.
So is
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you're
Because
saying
Buddha was
idol-
never a god.
That made like
That's
either
the thing. Like, everybody thinks
discoveries
that they
or
worship Buddha as a
differences,
god.
like an idol,
Buddha was
someone
never
that
a
you
god.
would
Buddha was a man, a
like-
prince, person that was trying to be
you just be
detached from
fascinated
like
by,
negative emotions
you
and
know,
emotions
be,
in general,
maybe
so that you can always judge clear
inspired by.
and always live like wholesome by being able to always be clear.
He was trying to train for the afterlife, probably.
Alexander the Great is who I pick, bro.
Alexander the Great was my next pick for sure.
Bro,
Alexander the Great, but Alexander
led
the
an
Great,
army at 17, bro.
Yeah, but that's still,
General.
But he fucking did
19.
A lot of fucked up
I'm
shit.
never big into military.
Oh, he was a general at 17 or 16, and then he led an army into battle at 19. And
I
That shit
respect. I don't respect his.
it's amazing
his,
to read about.
His conquering accomplishments and his like killings and all that shit. I don't
At
condone
19?
any of that, and at any age. But I do condone to the knowledge he obtained while
Imagine.
doing that, which
Imagine.
got burned down.
But you don't think it's a natural
you know,
human?
It
twice. It got burned down twice. Alexander.
You don't think destruction?
He had to be like badass to get to he had the best swordsman training and you know like was like his fathers or whatever like put like the captain of like all the fucking his whole fucking army like the best guy they had in the whole fucking place like to train Alexander, you know, to run the
But he
fucking army as a
definitely
general.
didn't have like if you look think about like if you're talking in that aspect, then Genghis Khan would be like.
Oh, I mean,
Oh yeah,
he'd be
we
like the
we
biggest-
go to Genghis
He
Khan.
would be your biggest.
Genghis
idol
Khan was
compared-
old as fuck.
He compared
Alexander the
that-
Great
But he
was
accomplished way
19.
more
Imagine
and
when you were
attained way
19,
more,
bro.
you
But
know?
wait.
Leading an army into battle.
But wait,
at
guys,
19. All
wait.
these older guys, bro.
But
They
don't
all gotta like
Genghis Khan
serve
was
you,
in
bro.
it too. Genghis Khan used to fight
What,
with his men.
how old was he when he inherited?
wait, guys. But don't. But you
Because
guys.
his dad died.
Wait,
Right?
wait,
His
guys.
grandpa.
He built it. The original.
Because you're talking about Genghis Khan.
Yeah, Genghis Khan.
Kangas
was
Khan.
the one who built it.
Kangas
He's
Khan
the one who built it.
was his father.
The one who founded that army, that
Dynasty.
empire, that dynasty.
They named the
He's
Pokemon
the
after
one
him.
who
Which
took
was not
over the
King Ghidorah,
Chinese
this was before, I think.
He overthrew the Chinese dynasty and like all the dynasties around him, and that motherfucker.
It was the Khan family.
he controlled
But guys,
everything.
but do you guys do
That's
you guys
why
think
they-
that being warlike is in
family.
our it's like in a human nature? Because
No, it was a part. Violence was a part of human nature.
no, wait,
Violence-
but wait, I would say destruction because life with destruction comes more life, and life destroys to make room to live. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but what's going on?
And I think it might be a part
I
of
like
that.
Yeah,
I don't
but
know,
isn't
but
the
then-
end
but
goal
then-
to
but
create
then-
more lives?
but
That's
then
the point. You have to destroy everything else.
But then,
In a sense, if it evolves, it's not the same. It's moving on.
What he's saying
That's
is
gone.
the Earth has its own built-in automatic like overpopulation defense.
I don't
in
think
a sense.
it does. I don't think it does. I
Like
think people-
animals kill, they die off.
Dude,
they lose
like,
their
that's-
food, or they
we-
get too big. They
because
shit
of
too
the
much.
interaction
Polluted
of
water, they
humans,
die.
like, we have to do
Polluted water
things
has
like
more
hunting
parasitic
certain
animals.
animals.
Parasitic animals get bigger. They take on their shape and form. Get to that size, start eating meat. Bigger animals. Population stable again. Water's not that bad anymore because all the fish are regular now.
Ever since
You know
the
what I mean?
industrialization of humans, like what we've done to change this world so much as we have, to make us look
Last
like we're not
50
even
years.
from it, right?
Yeah.
Like we're actually from fucking Mars or something. How long has this podcast been going?
Long enough to be on Mars.
Over an hour.
Well, let's keep going. Keep
About
going.
an hour.
We're on a roll right now.
Yeah, dude, but G shit, like we don't know where the fuck we are, but it just looks that way, man. All these other fucking animals seems like they're following the fucking rules, And it just seems like we're breaking the rules all the time, doing our shit as humans.
think
I
we-
agree because a
Yeah.
calf
I don't think
no.
there are
And we know the
I think
consequences.
that
but
I
the
think
earth
that
doesn't tell
there
you,
might
like,
be
oh,
some
that's a
type
bad
there might
thing
be
to do.
something to that because gazelles, hordes of gazelles will run from 4 lions. They're about like 20 something deep. They could all they don't have that instinct. They know when they
Right.
see that that's a predator. They're like, I'm gonna run.
Right.
And there could be some type like I was saying what you were
One
saying.
runs
What
too,
was
and the
the
rest of them
point?
want to run.
The point was like maybe there's like knowledge to that. Like Zach, what you just said before. Can you say that again?
Maybe they're stupid animals.
They're not
Instead of
stupid.
Working off of instinct.
But they're not stupid
They're following
because
the rules.
they're thinking
They're smart for their.
they're
They're
be-
limited to their
no, not
instincts.
even their
Right.
type
They're
of
also
animal.
limited to their instincts,
They're,
right?
they're thinking to their best interests, I think, but I agree.
Right.
They are limited to their instincts.
They can't go above their instincts like we can.
That's why we're
and
breaking
we've
the
always
Right.
We've been losing our
There might not be
instincts or
rules.
whatever.
You know what I'm saying?
But maybe in that sense
Rules,
you can
when
call
I
it
said
that
rules, I'm talking
because
about nature,
why is it
laws
that
of nature.
like
Right,
if you
okay.
see a gator,
Laws of nature. Are
jaguars
rules.
and
But it's like,
gators
are we
like they'll
breaking
eat each
those
other.
Rules? I think
They
we're
fight to the
working
death.
within the rules.
But then how is it that we're changing nature as itself and like all these like overpopulation
I think
of
everything
certain
that
animals
humans
in
do is
certain areas?
natural. Because
I
we're-
think-
I think
so,
right,
too.
but that's the thing is that it's natural for us, but it doesn't seem because of us being such a fucking product that's so different from every other thing on
it's
the
just
planet.
because we're smarter.
No, dude, like
Well, we
we're
call it
changing-
smarter.
We
We call
make
it smarter.
More
differences
brain
around the
capacity.
planet, bro.
We have more brain capacity. That's
Dolphins
what I'm
have more
saying.
brain capacity than us.
Bees,
Bro,
They have
bees
6 more
I've
crevices.
never
are a good
seen-
example.
Wait, but I've never seen a dolphin create a fucking building.
Yeah.
So
That's
don't
true.
tell me that they're smarter than humans. You know what I'm saying? Like-
Potentially, I said they're potentially
Okay,
smarter
no,
than us.
I know what you're saying.
Scientifically,
Because they do have
smarter,
dialects and shit. They
maybe in
Because they
one
possess-
or
they-
two ways or a few ways.
They
Right.
they
Not
possess
the same
the
way.
they
But when
possess
they
more
say
think power
colors-
because they have those more crevices inside their brain, and we have practically
Alright.
tens of more than most animals. Most animals don't go
Right.
past like 8 crevices in their head. We have how many do we have?
I don't even know.
Yeah, we have a shit
The
ton.
frontal lobe. I know we have. I think
But
one,
all
two,
those
I think we have
like
4.
veins that are like
No, I'm
cracks in our
talking-
brain, those are all those like the number of those that matters. That's like that, and that's
Brain
like your
synapses,
potential
they're called
thinking
synapses.
process and what you do with it. And they have
All I know is
6
that with
more than we do.
humans, The way the brain comes out is that we just end up smarter and we end up doing all this kind of shit. I don't
Sure.
see
Okay,
a
okay.
dolphin with a
You're
fucking
right, you're
room.
right.
That's
Okay.
weird.
Exactly, and you don't see any other fucking animal with one either, right?
Yeah.
Right, but we're only just smart.
No,
we're
but
just
they're
smarter.
saying that the
We're
you know
just
they're
smarter.
saying
But
that-
that's like so
we're not
weird.
from Mars.
You know,
You know,
You're
here's what
telling me
happened.
we're
Our
not
cell,
from
when our
Mars.
cells divided,
I mean,
they got
We're
smart.
doing different
Dude,
shit.
we're Neanderthals. We're
Billions of
Neanderthals.
years of
Those monkeys.
evolved
Listen,
evolution.
humans started this shit. We were out here. We started this shit.
And
all
they're
right?
saying that monkeys have entered the prehistoric age. You know that, right?
That's
They're
right,
saying
because
that-
They
still
are, bro.
evolving, which is my point.
They're
you know?
using stones. They're using tools. You know that they did. I saw this on Joe Rogan's podcast. Shout out. They did a study
With the help of humans,
They did-
teaching them.
Look, they did this.
Destroyed.
I
Listen,
don't know about that.
They taught a monkey. They were trying to teach monkey the value of currency. Like what they would do is they would give them a treat, and they would have the monkey come up And whenever the monkey would come up with a coin, they'd give him a treat.
Yeah.
They'd give him coins, and when the monkey would exchange the coin, they'd give him treats.
Right.
So they would.
That's
they-
beautiful. I
look,
love the experiment.
When they finally had faith to give them their own coins and see what they would do with it on their own, what was the first thing the monkeys did when they got coins?
They threw it at each other.
No.
No, they're fighting for that shit.
No, they
Oh.
weren't. No.
Huh?
You know what they did?
they
They
gave
traded it for sex. Primal instincts, bro. I was just saying, they
Yo,
traded
that's
it
funny
for
as
sex,
fuck.
dog.
What
They
the
would give it
fuck?
to the female, and they would have the female. They would trade it to fuck the female, bro. And you know, monkeys, they greet and shit like that. And, you know, like, I don't know. I just think.
But what kind of monkeys are these? Because there's
chimpanzees? Chimpanzees.
Easy.
And also, all right, look, they also did another study on rats. I saw this on Joe Rogan's podcast where they proved that they can knock the genetics of memory, like the genetic code, alter the genetic code to make it harder for a rat to memorize things,
Oh, I
and
heard about
also
this
not only memorize things but learning.
Yeah.
But in that same study, it didn't get published that if you put it in an enriched environment, which I don't really understand what an enriched environment would be for
Smarter
a lot of social
Rats.
like just other rats to be able to socialize.
it overcomes those deficits
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah.
So
You put the smart
But then
rats
the
with the
thing to
smart
remember
rats.
about all these things is
So that's the
that we
instinct.
aren't
I'm
those
talking
animals. You know what I'm
primal
saying?
instincts. Like we are who we are. Like
Shouts out to Pharaoh.
Big
and
shouts out to
Tyler,
Pharaoh,
what's
bruh.
good? Jumping up in this bitch. You
Gang,
better
gang.
be subscribed, bro.
Yo, we should play some shit Pharaoh got right now.
Yo, and let us know when you into town. We know you coming back for Christmas. If you ain't,
Bro,
know,
you better
fuck,
let us
but
know,
whatever.
bro. I'm waiting, dog. And I'm gonna send you tracks. Get ready for that. 'Cause
Going back to
high
what
key.
Naja was saying, bro. This shit's fucking nuts, bro. That experiment is.
I mean, that shit's crazy, but at the same time, we aren't chimpanzees. So
no.
like,
The point
you know,
of it is the point.
Right.
that I
We have
was
a
trying to
common
say is that
ancestor.
there are
and who
evo-
handed
there's
them the
evolution.
coins and gave them that whole
Humans.
concept? Exactly.
No,
They didn't just. They just followed, you know, after being boosted that shit. Like everybody wants to say, like something came down and gave us some shit.
no, but what I'm
Whoa.
saying-
I don't necessarily give.
That was an
Oh,
experiment. That
That's
was an
interesting you
experiment.
say it like that.
yeah, that's true.
That is so interesting you say it like that because we give that to them and we see how they process and some.
We could have done the same shit. That could have been humans' first response to when a Martian came down and was like, "Listen, children, I know you don't know what the fuck's going on, but here, enjoy your animals." I don't know.
I just think that I think we were more. I think we were more savage. I don't know. I think that we were more primitive. Not even 100 years ago. Like also like when you actually, I met a professor in Dominican Republic who studied indigenous people around the world. He traveled the world. And his goal was to meet indigenous people and like observe them and talk about them.
Yeah.
And when I asked him about aliens and whether or not he believed in aliens, he told me he doesn't think so at all. He says that you could see the complete evolution, the map out of the evolution of the human race, and it's not only documented, but it's explained through the documents. You know,
Yeah.
and you know we just don't have a lot of access. Like there's a Netflix movie documentary about this guy. I forget his name, but the documentary is called Internet's Own Boy. Anybody watching should go check it out.
Yeah.
Internet's Own Boy, and it's about the guy who invented the patent, like to be able to view, like open windows and the computer and view the computer as we
Right,
view
like
it
the
now,
way it works.
the way it works
Right.
now, and sense of visual aspects. And he might have been like a pioneer coder also, and he used to go to Harvard or Yale, or he went to a school. But his first endeavor, what he did, is that he found out there was a website where people were, that the government actually marketed, and it was a multi-billion-dollar company where the people would buy access to this website and to view laws that were getting passed behind scenes, kind of, you know what I'm saying, for people who didn't have access to radio or things like that, and you know, and things that were getting passed. And he ended up leaking that, and they tried to sue him, and he won that lawsuit because it was unconstitutional to do that. Everybody has the right to know what's going on in the United States. And then he also found out, at least from in the documentary, he found out that there was supposed to be a cure for pancreatic cancer. And when you do research and you're a scientist, you're usually funded by these big corporations. So everything that you find and you discover, they end up taking. And they end up, you know, selling it for hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions, around the world to people who could afford it, this information. And when he found out there was a pancreatic cancer cure and they weren't coming out with it, supposedly he went and he tried to leak he went into the Harvard system, and they have video footage of him going in there, hacking in it, and like trying to hack and like take all that information. And he was probably gonna post. They don't know what he was gonna do with it. He was probably gonna post it to the public and for free. And before he got a chance to do that, they caught him and they ended up suing him for. They tried to sue him. I forget for exactly what, but you could probably figure it out.
You see, that's interesting. You don't think that'd be like a fucking...
Look, they sued him, and it was, and he actually won the civil case. He won, but he committed suicide 2 weeks before the verdict, and he won. And you know how he committed suicide? With a bag over your head. I don't know if you think about that. You know how hard. I don't know. It's kind of hard to kill yourself with a bag over your head.
Doesn't sound like you killed yourself.
You got to have some serious hate in your heart, bro, for yourself. And I just think that I don't know. I don't believe in coincidence.
I don't either.
And like, his girlfriend. You should just watch that documentary. There's a lot of fucked up things going on right now, and you need some good people right now with some good mind states trying to promote some positivity, especially through music.
Positive ego.
Like Nikola Tesla. If you want to access a quote from Nikola Tesla, if you want to access the secrets to the world, think in vibration, frequency, and sound.
I haven't heard that name in so long.
And that's what he said. If you want to discover the secrets of the world. So a lot of the things going on, I think people know why they're shoving this music down our throats and shit like that. I can keep going down in
They're
depth.
trying to hide you from the real world.
Not even that. You could, like Bob Marley did, he could promote love and peace through music.
But they don't want that in
No, but he proved that he could do that. He proved that he could do that. And it's not that they don't want that, because people still listen to Bob Marley.
Bob Marley got killed, bro.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, he died.
But
He died of the
just like he
infection.
could promote positivity on what I'm trying to say, and
Anyways.
love throughout the world. And he even started an uprising. I forget in what country in Africa. They banned his music because once his music got played, an uprising came. This motherfucker, you could promote hate and racism and all sorts of shit through music. Negativity. Just like everything has a positive effect, there's a negative effect. That's just my take on what I think. Like I think a lot of what they're doing right now is negative, and I don't think it's random.
Right. 90% of the media doesn't want peace and love and happiness. They want
It
drama,
doesn't make money.
death,
Chaos
and-
makes
Who
more
cares
money.
about the media, man?
They want that shit.
Fuck the media.
Apparently, the people that turn that shit on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's way too many of those people.
And
And
it's
that's
the
the mission,
kids.
right? Is to make them start thinking for themselves, so that
Even
we can
if those
start
people
getting
who
things
watch that,
done.
though, that can be,
right?
People who really are like, who really know things,
I was
like people who really like, who have that thought. Like you said, the people who watch the media and just get brainwashed by it. Those people. There's a lot of those people. You know what I'm
They're
saying?
always trying to be a part of something.
There's definitely a big majority of people who watch that and gotta get the vibe of bullshit, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's obviously why there's a lot of things going on. But
It's called
like you were
bias.
saying, like we gotta.
It's called bias.
We gotta meet what's it called?
You know?
We gotta meet an understanding. Y'all gotta find an understanding and a balance within this controversy.
You put that like that on purpose?
Oh no, put it up.
Guys, if you're out here living your best life, make sure
Living
that
my best
you
life.
live your best life without like trying to destroy anything else.
Oh, man, you niggas.
Because every time we walk, like, all right, when I step outside of my house, guys, and I like see the sun, I stand like this because you know what I'm saying. Like it's like my little prayer to the sun, and I keep my eyes open because I'm receiving my prayer. I see it, I receive what I get, and then I meditate and stuff like that. So but when I do that, I always come down to having some type of like peace about me, just because maybe I've convinced myself that is what it takes to receive peace. So if you guys feel peaceful like at any point, you know what I mean, try to maintain that and always go back to that, and that's the place you want to be at when you're thinking about who you are and what's going on in reality, because you don't want to have a bias when you walk in there. You want to walk in there relaxed, like, okay, I'm going to think about something. I prepare myself to think about stuff. When I'm like, if I'm going to think about something, I sit there and I get ready. I have to be ready to be focused. Be focused out here. Don't go out there and follow the sheep. And the sheep are whoever thinks that they're a sheep, because somebody was offended by that. And the truth is, you might be one. But everybody that doesn't believe that they are, be yourself and don't like lessen yourself. Don't be passive either. That's lame. Don't ever be passive, man. There's times to be passive, but you have to always
Don't
be
be
going about
dismissive either.
shine your light. Don't be dismissive, taking everything. Just be shining. And if you see somebody else low, shine for them.
Help them out.
Be that candle, bro. Like put your head down, give them a light. You know what I mean? The candle head.
Or like a
Got
tower
you,
manager.
man. Because, like, you know, you're not the only one melting. You know what I mean? In that sense. Nobody's wrong.
Fat joint.
I won't say that nobody's right, but I will say nobody's wrong because there's a lot of reasons why everybody's thinking what they're thinking, and maybe there's enough truth to convince somebody that it's real. You know what I mean? And that's why I like that this podcast can have conversations like this, because we can all come to an understanding. You know what I mean? Like, we can all talk about stuff like this, and it's all just to understand how we think and what we're
Right.
thinking about more.
Everybody's right and everybody's wrong.
High key. I didn't say everybody's right. I say nobody's wrong. That way, I feel like it's saying.
This is a double entendre. Two different, ways to say right. You're thinking you're doing the right thing, Someone else, it's not the same thing,
Exactly. That's why I said
Just
nobody's wrong.
Believe in yourself, Batch. What note do we want to leave on? What do you guys want to say?
Well, guys, I want
Kanye West is fucking crazy, but that's the same shit that it's always been.
Help somebody.
Nothing
If you
new.
could help somebody, help somebody. If you could reach your hand out to somebody and give them something that they don't have in their life and shit like that, try it out.
Do that shit up, Batch, and smash the like, leave a comment,
Fuck Russ.
and subscribe. This is I Only Speak Green Tea Podcast, and we out here.
Crown out.
High Ego Bachelors. Follow us on Instagram too, and just hit us up. DM if you want some stew time. We located in Miami, Florida, Cutler Bay to be specific. All right, get him with the Rasengan, Spacely.
I need a little help, guys.
Close it on as well.
Ah!